Welcome to Tidbit Talkin. This series is just spewing out assorted thoughts about boatloads of entertainment media. Some ideas are serious, others not so much. There will be spoilers for the series currently featured, but generally only vague references to any other connected ones in a shared universe. Now, with all that out of the way, here we go. The Trickster. A 150 miles away place located Jesse seems to be awfully casual about first witnessing the Flash, despite many people in Central City still not even believing in said fellow's existence. It could very well be that some more heroes are coming out of the woodwork in this universe now, since one as ridiculously powerful as Sir Scorching's shaded sprinter, more or less going full public, makes them feel much better about doing so themselves. Like Hawkman, for example. Even if Barry's antics didn't inspire other metas to start doing heroic hoopla, some areas might have started up rumors of such folks for criminals scaring safe. Either way, the proto-trickster would be well informed about these things thanks to perusing tabloids and whatnot. The guy would see such literature as required reading, since he needs to know how much craziness is necessary for staying on top of Mount Banana laser beams. This guy's stint as a fake doctor is why he's aware of precisely how many marbles are required for tripping the Scarlet Speedster. That bit also explains how he has so much chloroform and can create fleshy mass deals that are able to fool others long enough for current crime completing crap. Barry's speedster powers would of course require him to have an easier time seeing in situations that most people can only ever experience as blur-filled messes. Apparently that applies to being lodged underwater too. Neato. Mr. Allen's able to ensure that this challenge gets accepted because he places every flyer somewhere Jesse would. If nothing else, the guy would check them out to see if he had forgotten about some other grandiose plan before fleeing town. There might be some sort of expression about someone's stomach being the best way to their heart. Seems like something that could inspire dark plans for Trickster's whole love-murder obsession. So, it's likely he really learned how to bake and actually made this cake fully normal before trap rigging it and everything. In earlier instances, dude might have relied on poison or other different time-consuming methods for food forge fatalities, depending on how long he wanted his current psychotic game to last. Tina, is that you? Barry's sloppy capture of the gang at this episode's beginning, with a casualty even occurring, is because how much they remind him of Nightmare McGee really causes some massive throwing off action. Messed up brain experiment created evil Tina is quite potent at putting up a convincing niceness facade because of all the times real her dwelt upon how Barry does those secret identity maintaining shenanigans. Aforementioned main character guy's comments to Lisa about that dude who eats broken glass is because he's been reading less than credible information sources more often these days, just in case they wind up with something real about himself or other similarly empowered individuals. Dr. Out of Her Mind never considers revealing the Flash's identity because Mr. Allen's nightmare version of her didn't take things in that direction. Be my baby. Moses pushes a shelf onto the apparently already down do-gooder because his research into genetic stuff that got done while perfect offspring seeking was happening made him capable of reaching a hypothesis, which states this fellow must be all super healing equipped. Kinda related, Lily seems rather comfortable in Barry's lab. Must be because many of her earliest days were spent in one while that aforementioned scummiest bag father double-checked that she was made from material he wanted. Fast forward. This whole time travel spark power loss situation must be the result of Barry's body doing more work and pushing him over edge places than his actual powers. That is, he experienced an adrenaline rush that got him all out of sync with Speed Force energy whatnot, and thus needed either much waiting or outside help nonsense in order to get all realigned. None of the other supposedly around heroes or actual law organizations would attempt stopping Pike before he got too powerful, because his rule-grabbing shenanigans also included spreading rumors about him defeating the Flash somehow. Everybody outside of Central City was simply too scared to approach the guy who could slay Sir Super Sprinter. This would work especially well because people who never actually met anyone who saw the guy probably have even less of a grasp on just how fast he really is. So, while hometown folks might believe him to be running at Mach 10 or so, based on math and witnessing whatnot, individuals only partaking in rumor sauce consuming might even believe feats like black hole outrunning are achievable, or something. Tina would have developed a star security stopping cyber something after that lockdown business with bioweapon junk during the episode Sight Unseen. Barry must have figured out how to precisely vibrate and merge with new past him, because reaching this moment again, while all aware history hopping is totally doable, brought forth an epiphany of the realize what was really going on back then variety. That is, looking at this event again through a new, more open-minded lens, let him realize crazy quaking caused Reno chaos, and that all that was needed to fix his place in the world was super shaking at rates matching version 2 old himself, so they could be forced together by sci-fi fiscal law crap and become situation halt capable CSI guy number 3. Deadly Nightshade. Regularly criminal-defending lawyer guy is capable of perceiving the civilian Flash antics at dinner because whatever mental gymnastics he performs to make himself feel all not completely horrible must have beefed his brain up enough, so a somewhat quicker thinking situation could be going on up in there. That reflex-enhancing exoskeleton rig must have been manufactured based on a combination of local superhero witness testimony collecting and intel gathered about a certain scrapped Soviet suit Starlab salvaged some time ago. Captain Cold. Garfield wouldn't double-check with the mayor's office right away regarding a reporter supposedly assigned to CCPD on its request, because that business with him apparently at least being capable of knowing who Nightshade was for decades has somewhat soured certain professional relationships. Similar to some random gangster in this universe having the nickname Gorilla Grodd, that snow globe-contained magical character may very well be officially referred to as a weather wizard. Cronenberg deducing that a makeup-covered Julio might be the Flash would have come about because Captain Cold's albinism condition made her think quite a bit about what people put on their skin. Twin streaks. First, fake Fast Fellow sports at least a general build rather similar to Mr. Allen's, despite having no creation bits originating from the dude's genetic material. It could very well be that the science guy's hypothesis deduced that the hunky CSI's basic body type was among the minimum physical requirements for getting all hyper speedy. Somewhat related, there generally aren't salvageable quantities of flash blood lying around crime scenes, even though he's been battered by baddies a fair amount, because Barry uses his forensic knowledge to get every superhero cone place squeaky clean. This time was an exception, because the bizarre situation that got him wounded made confusion quelling fleeing a top priority. Done with mirrors. The guy with Scudder at this hotel, who seemingly knew said clever crook's whole illusion shtick, immediately believing these cops are real, must be because some officers were actually currently staying here trying to bust an illegal gambling situation or whatever. The microwave oven, video games, Laserdisc, Barry pretending to be Professor Zoom's fake list of inventing accomplishments is probably just stuff that's been lingering in his mental background places since bringing up to Tina's mom how corn dogs originated from Central City. Flash falling for fake snakes so easily is probably because he was too absorbed in his villainous acting gig to quickly recall what trademark evil tomfoolery real foes were currently utilizing. Good night, Central City. Barry's share of the Diamond Center job was actually Roger's, and it's likely just enough to keep said dude's research going. Tina's able to barely stay awake when weapons of mass drowsiness get activated, because the vibrations coming from the surrounding Star Labs equipment interferes with that signal quite a bit. Something similar happened to Flash earlier because of sprinting shakiness. Guy didn't start stopping at all until his current hyperjog ceased. On a related note, Dr. McGee, who actually had the resources available to easily finish that poor hard life force science man's work, was capable of easily utilizing them for doing so. Yes, her constant research on Barry's bizarre body bunk kept mind things all up in a medical miracle-making mold. Alpha. Sir Squirrel Suit was clearly arrested for trying to con people into thinking he was Central City's latest new super guardian, Captain Nutbuster. Mr. Allen dons a snazzily timeless charcoal outfit for his choice of hip attire, because black blurs suddenly showing up on the scene would be a lot less conspicuous than rainbow ones those more trendy duds would produce. Foss Knight is able to easily sneak up on highly trained federal agents because not getting noticed is basically half his job. This skill in particular would get extra honed out of necessity once the Flash showed up and everything. Barry busted out and got his suit on before being noticed by those corrupt captors because he took advantage of their blinking moments while all shook by this man's sudden reflexive outburst deal to change into more vigilantism appropriate attire. Omega didn't have a self-destruct doodad within himself yet because such stuff wouldn't get installed until final designs are approved, since everyone must be absolutely sure unintentional detonation would not occur while he's at home base research places. The initial pitch argument this maybe not so heartless scientist must have wielded in order to get Miss Metal Mercenary's free will all project approved by overly heartless military radicals must have gone as follows. If Alpha can think for herself, then maybe she'll come up with creative kill strategies limited human minds could never even comprehend. The Trial of the Trickster. Flash's tendency to let loose the occasional quip is what made Prank believe Laughing Gas was a good choice for her court invasion plan. After all, if the guy can let out a small chuckle now and then, surely a full funny fit forcing should work on him. Jesse would have an idea how to reprogram Barry's brain, because some of the doctors who were making attempts at alternate identity erasing used such archaic and cruel methods on him earlier. They of course didn't work and just made an entirely new personality emerge that wanted and knew how to inflict the exact same situation on others. Particularly that one mentioned earlier that gave himself his own medical degree. The test that Star Labs regularly performs regarding Flash's physical limitations is what made Tina capable of easily creating a bomb which would only knock Trickster off his ride and not outright kill him. Differently sorted general season thoughts. Pollux and the other copies must have gotten absorbed into the Speed Force as they died. Something about the supernatural strength stores wanting what's rightfully its back, and such unnatural beings having no other regular afterlife places to go. Dr. Powell may have helped Flash locate other heroes in this universe once his book/movie deals gave him enough revenue to garner the massive amount of free time required for completing such a gargantuan task. Endings are a pain, but all of you are fantastic. See ya.